This short video is about a 100-year-old book and the 3 persons who's owned it so far. The book is about the sinking of the Titanic and was published within a year of the disaster. My name is Robert. This is Flora, my grandmother, who was 22 years old in 1912 when the Titanic went down. She bought the book new and kept it for 70 years in a bookcase in the front parlor of her home. Shortly before she died, she gave it to me. I kept it for the next 30 years. In 2014, my cousin Linda told me about her nephew Nicholas, who was a collector of everything about Titanic. I figured that he would be the perfect custodian for the book's next 50 years. Nicholas is Flora's great-great-grandson. In the summer of 2014, I visited Nicholas in Pennsylvania to give him the treasured book. Nicholas was surprised and delighted. All he could say was, "I'm never going to sell it." In 1985, Dr. Robert Ballard discovered the location of the Titanic, where it sank in the North Atlantic Ocean in water 2.5 miles deep. I recently watched a television documentary about Dr. Ballard's efforts to preserve the wreck site as a memorial. In spite of the depth of the water, treasure hunters now have the ability to retrieve artifacts from the site. This documentary tells how artifacts are sold at an auction house in England.
She was just such an amazing chick. The thought that within a few days she'd just disappeared to the ocean, lost forever.
I'm an engineer by trade, so I'm interested in mechanical and how the ship works.
Of the things I collect, I think the things that interest me pertain to people.
This is where collectors put a price tag on the global fascination with the Titanic. Twice a year, Titanic enthusiasts descend on a small town in the English countryside to visit the auction house of Henry Aldridge & Son.
We are the world's leaders in the sale of Titanic memorabilia. We have sold hundreds and hundreds of items. We hold every world record relating to the sale of Titanic memorabilia. These tiles will cost £300 or £400. Here is a remarkable item, will be worth between £2,000 or £3,000. Something like this will be worth between £3,000 and £5,000. This card was posted from the Titanic, so this card is worth £7,000.
One of the most anticipated items in the auction is a set of keys from a first-class men's lavatory.
And what's significant about these? They're from the Titanic, so they're worth between £30,000 and £50,000.
Have a look at the large plate.
It all comes down to what collectors are willing to bid to own a piece of Titanic's history.
We have phone bids registered from around the world. We got bidders from the US, bidders from China, bidders from Thailand.
I particularly collect menus.
But China is my main interest. I've always collected the China. Save my pennies and then spend them all, and then save my pennies and spend them all.
They've got some fantastic stuff in the auction. One-off things which will...
Hold on. Notice the book in the display case. It's obviously the same book as Flora's.
probably never appear again, and I suspect items like that will just go through the roof.
As a reputable auction house, Aldridge & Son carefully researches the origins of every artifact.
I'm ending this video with a picture of Nicholas, his 2 sisters, and their Aunt Linda. What a beautiful family. As my English friends say, cheers.